The third season, how do you keep your glued and how do you get them back and explain to them that guys, we have the same thing, but we have something new.
It's a show about these three siblings, the parents, the family essentially. And within that world, we keep doing different things. I feel there is scope for a lot of those things.
This is a topic that can be explored and new problems can come and new issues can come. You see this topic going
and there
a
are
long
so many
way.
places that we haven't visited yet. We haven't traveled.
Your priorities
Because
are
that's-
very clear.
Yeah. No, that's actually the first question I ask him every time there's a new season. I'm like, इस बार कहाँ जा रहे हैं?
What has Triplings done to your life?
Every actor has some turnkey moments in their life and their careers, and this was definitely one of them. This is a big part of my life and will go down in my biography somewhere as a chapter.
लाइफ की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम्स का सोल्यूशन बहुत सिंपल ही होता है. दिस शो इज दैट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग जो हंसते हंसते बहुत बड़ी लाइक यू विल एंड अप suddenly you're watching it and then you'll realize, oh, that's quite a profound thought.
Guys, I have a few questions about the series, of course.
Yes.
One is that you tell me, how does in the third season, how do you keep your glued and how do you get them back and explain to them that guys, we have the same thing, but we have something new.
I mean, we actually, it's a paradoxical question. We don't try to do something out of the realm of the show.
Okay.
Just for effect. So that we stick to. Okay, it's a show about these three siblings, the parents, the family essentially. And within that world, we keep doing different things. I feel there is scope for a lot of those things.
Right.
I don't really focus on I have to keep my audience glued per se, but I generally try to stick on to what worked for the show.
Okay.
What actually is the feeling that you get when you watch a show like Tripling. Feeling about, like we spoke about, when families come together and they are annoying at times, but it's that warm, fuzzy feeling. That's what I like to stick to.
Right.
I don't like to sanitize it too much.
Right.
Like, be proper.
Right. Do you take feedback from one season and put it in the other? What would that be? Like, what
I
kind
mean,
of
one feedback that I did take from second season was the length. We wanted to keep the length a little crisper.
Right.
Because it's just easier and it also keeps me on my toes that I have to say whatever I have to say in the stipulated.
Tell me, it's such a, some concepts are so simple and so beautiful. What do you think and your friends, family tell you that, this is why this works?
I think the more universal the feeling is that it's trying to portray, that's what, I mean, by definition is more relatable, right, for people. In fact, even in Tripling season 1, there's one dialogue where you say or Kumudji's character says कि life की सबसे बड़ी problems का solution बहुत simple ही होता है. So that's and this show is that kind of a thing जो हंसते हंसते बहुत बड़ी, like you will end up suddenly you're watching it and then you'll realize, oh, that's quite a profound thought, but it's said in a way which is very colloquial, which is very everyday and mundane, and you don't realize it's not preachy. You don't realize it till you felt it, and then so I think that's the feeling that it's a feeling that the audience gets while watching it. Like he said, it's a warm, fuzzy feeling. So I think it's that, and you're laughing throughout. You think it's like this out and out comedy, and then when it's over, you're like, hey, that felt good. That's the takeaway from it.
Right.
So that's, I think, what connects with the audience.
Right. You were telling us in the rapid fire that this season, like what's new in this season which we didn't see. This is the audience that's seen the trailer. What more can you tell them? What are those things that they should really look forward to?
I think trailer में कुछ झलकियाँ तो मिल ही गई हैं कि main crux क्या है of the season, at least the main conflict or the main thing that the siblings are dealing with this time. What I think we will see more of is the interpersonal relationships of these characters.
Right.
Because this bar, like the trailer suggests, it's not an external journey that they're taking.
Right.
They are going on a trek, but it's not, जो events हैं, जो plot points हैं, they're not coming from the outside world कि गाड़ी चोरी हो गई या कोई मिल गया रास्ते में या कोई character मिल गया. It's what is happening between them, their relationships, the emotions. तो थोड़े से, I would say, there are slightly more complex emotions this time, which is the reality of familial relationships. मतलब वो जितने complex वो रिश्ते और वो emotions होते हैं वो कहीं कितने में नहीं होते. कहीं you can't compare it with anything else. But of course, this show still remains relatable and quirky, and the characters remain what they are. But we will see them for the first time dealing with slightly more complex emotions than that we have in the first 2 seasons.
Nice. We are seeing that in the trailer. That looks really nice. You know, I want to ask you, when does a third season come? One, just because pehle do season popular ho gaye, and how do you make sure that it's not forced? You know, you have it. You just don't drop a new season because this has such a religious following.
Precisely. I mean, we didn't do a third season because it's popular. It's almost coming after 3 years or so, three and a half years. Because for 3 years we didn't have a story to tell.
Okay.
So there was no point. अगर कोई बात है नहीं करने वाली तो फिर नहीं करना चाहिए. At this point, we felt like there's something that it came and it feels like yeah, it makes sense. We can tell this story. It is exciting us, and not just like the good part is that casually we keep bouncing ideas. Me and Arnab and Amol, and we meet each other. And when I bounced the idea to Arnab, he was immediately like, "Yeah, so let's do this." Because इसमें वो आ रही है वो feeling that it feels like we could do one more season, for sure. And then again, it's in that sense very democratic. I called her also. I said I'm thinking of another season, and this is the line that I'm thinking on. I called Amol also. Because I wanted the core unit to be on the same page. They all have to be excited about doing this. Not just like, oh shit, now we have to do this. We are stuck with this show.
So when you call them, were they all on the same page immediately? What any concerns, any apprehensions, anything?
I mean, at least to me, they told me.
They're excited.
I'll come to you.
I don't know.
एक दूसरे को फोन करके क्या बोला?
क्या बोला वो नहीं पता, but सामने से तो बोला कैसा लग रहा है.
Right. And also, you know, how much do you pick up from real life? These are such relatable things. The small lines these parents talk and they tell you, you all tell each other. How much of this you all have picked up and you all have always written down and said, we'll use this line?
Maybe not written down, but I do pick up a lot from real life. I enjoy that, and I think, like you all were discussing before, some of the most profound things I've learned in life or I've come across are from the most unassuming sources.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you randomly meet somebody, or you spoke to your building's guard and you were just generally talking about something, and they would say something so profound that it stays with you. So, I mean, Steve Jobs, although I love him, is not the most profound person I've met. I've met several others. No, as in like...
You know, since he calls you when he gets an idea, do you see this going a long way? Because this is a topic that can be explored and new problems can come and new issues can come. You see this topic going
and there
a
are
long
so
way?
many places that we haven't visited yet. We haven't traveled.
Your priorities are very clear.
Yeah. No, that's actually the first question I ask him every time there's a new season. I'm like, "Is baar kahan ja rahe hain? Like, where are we traveling to?" No, but on a serious note, I think because the characters are such that I mean, it's a character-driven show, right? And we've established that there are these 3 characters, and like there are 3 other characters, the parents and Pranav, and then there are other characters that come in and go out, and there's a world, and things happen in this world, you know, and then these characters react to those things and deal with those things. So I think that's a format that can go for multiple seasons, provided, like, of course, like the people want to watch it and they want to, and we also try to keep giving them something which is fresh and engaging, and so I think it because they're invested in the characters, and then you just like keep on building on that world. And
so far you all have managed that. Well done with that. And lastly to you, you know, what has Triplings done to your life? You know, you all do this, you all go do different work, you all come back on the same set. One, how is it, you know, that you all pick up from the same page as they all left, and what has changed in your life?
From the first season, much in my professional life has changed. I would say this is the show that kind of was my, you know, every actor has some turnkey moments in their life and their careers, and this was definitely one of them, and not just internally, externally also, because a lot of people also still know me from this character. A lot of work I do, I think, derives itself from, you know, जिससे आपको लोग जानते हैं, और आज भी I get a lot of work from this show and this character. तो वो तो definitely this is a big part of my life and will go down in my biography somewhere as a chapter.
And you all pick up easily when you
I think very easily. I think very easily because we're all looking forward to spending this time. This also is an experience which is slightly, I won't say slightly, very unlike other work things that we do, because this is a completely different kind of environment.
Right.
This is a completely different kind of relationships that we share with each other, our working styles. You just feel like a different person.
Right.
You don't feel like how you usually feel like on other sets, or you don't think like how you think on other sets. Your mind is just like in a different zone altogether. You know how it is with probably you go out in the world, you are a certain person, then you come back home and you feel that ये है यहाँ पे मेरे को कुछ acting नहीं करनी है in the world.
True.
So this is, I think, that kind of set where you're not acting. I mean, we
You're
are
being
acting,
yourself,
that's our
right.
work,
But
but you're not acting with each other.
Right.
So that, I think, is not a comfort that you get in life generally. That is, at spending 25-30 days like that, once in 3 years, it's a nice break from everything else.
Right. Sitting and chatting with you all, I could go on and on, but now I understand why this is so relatable. These are the people that you all also are.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time, and I hope this does as much and better than the previous season. Thank you.
So
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.